In this lecture, we are going to discuss about the load commutated chopper. Load commutated chopper is a type of chopper which consists of 4 thyristors and 1 commutating chopper. Here T1, T2, T3 and T4 are the main thyristors. Here in this load commutated chopper, this is a circuit diagram. FD is a freewheeling diode and the load, and V0 is the voltage across the load. IFD is the freewheeling diode current. VC is the this load commutated chopper circuit starts with the positive polarity at down plate of the capacitor. In the mode 1, the operation of the load commutated chopper will be explained in 3 modes. In the mode 1, when the chopper T1 and the T2 are on, then the load current flows through this direction, that is Vs plus 2 T1 to capacitor to T2 to load. And also the capacitor starts discharging, and it also the capacitor current IC also flows through Vc plus to T2 to load to Vs minus Vs to T1 to Vc minus. So the two sources drives the current. So I0 is equals to Is plus Ic. The two, so we can say the voltage across the load is Vs plus Vc. So 2 Vs we can say, because Vc is the voltage across the capacitor is equals to Vs. So 2 Vs is the voltage across the load. At the instant where the capacitor discharges completely through the path T2 and T1 through the load, then the capacitor polarities will be changed. That plus become the upper plate with a positive polarity. This reverse direction of the reverse polarity of the capacitor will reverse bias the T1 and T2. Hence the circuit will be open. Then the supply voltage is not connected in the circuit. Now the load starts discharging its current through the freewheeling diode. The discharging current freewheels through the freewheeling diode. Then the freewheeling diode will be conducting here. The I0 will conduct the freewheeling diode, that as it forward biases the freewheeling diode, and thus it completes the path, that is from load to freewheeling diode. Vs that means V0 plus to free FD to V0 minus. Here load drives the current. As the freewheeling diode is conducting, it acts as a short circuit. At the short circuit, the voltage across the freewheeling diode is 0. Hence, it is connected across the load. The voltage across the load is also 0, but the current I0 is flowing in the circuit, which is in the positive direction. In the mode 3, we observe here, now the capacitor is having a positive polarity at upper plate. Now at this instant we are turn on of thyristor T3 and T4, either the chopper T3 or T4 we are on. At this instant the supply voltage comes into the circuit, into the picture, that is supply voltage is applied to the circuit, and then the current flows through the circuit through T4, capacitor, T3 and load through 2 Vs. So path is Vs plus to T4, T4 to capacitor, capacitor to T3, T3 to load, load to Vs minus. During that instant again the capacitor gets charged. When it is fully charged, again the polarities of the capacitor will reverse bias the T4 and T3, and then again the T3 and T4 are open circuited, and hence the supply voltage is disconnected from the circuit. As it is disconnected from the circuit, now the source current is equals to 0, where now the I0, the load, starts again discharging through the freewheeling diode, as we have discussed in the earlier case in the mode 2. Same as Now this load starts discharging through the freewheeling diode. This load current that I0 discharges through the freewheeling diode, as again the V0 becomes 0 as the freewheeling diode is conducting, and the voltage across the freewheeling diode is 0. Then the voltage across the load is also 0, and the I0 is flowing in the circuit until that load gets discharged completely. So these are the modes of in this waveform. These are the Ig1 and Ig2 are the triggering currents, that is gate currents of the thyristor, both the thyristor 1 and thyristor 2, and Ig3 and Ig4 are the triggering gate currents of thyristor 3 and thyristor 4. Here at t equal to 0, thyristor 1 and 2 both are triggered. Here thyristor 1 and the thyristor 2 both are triggered, and at T2 and T4 the thyristor 3 and 4 are triggered. Let us see what happens, what is the waveform, what are the waveforms of thyristor T1 and T2 when they are triggered at T equal to 0. At T equal to 0, the thyristor T1 and T2 are triggered at that instant that IT1 and IT2 are equals to I0. Here it is equals to I0. IT1 here it is I0 and IT2 is I0, where T1 and T2 are conducting, where when the T1 and T2 are conducting, the thyristors T3 and T4 are reverse biased, hence the current across them are 0. And where the thyristor T1 and T2 are conducting, then the voltage across the thyristor T1 and T2 are 0, because they are conducting, as they are acting as a short circuit. At that instant they have the 0 voltage across them. And the VT3 and VT4, as they are having a reverse bias of, as they are reverse bias due to the negative supply supply across the upper plate, across which appears across the T3 and T4. So it starts minus Vs up to at some half of the interval, and then it reaches to minus Vs to positive Vs. And then at a interval, the Vc starts discharging from positive Vc to that is Vs to negative Vs, and it reaches, and it has a constant up to 2 Vs. It is up to an interval T1 to T2. It's having until the T3 and T4 are triggered, the capacitor is having constant value of 2 Vs, which is driving the load. And when the thyristor is on, the thyristor T3 and T4 are on, then the capacitor starts discharging from 2 Vs to Vs. Here at an instant when it reaches to positive Vs to negative Vs, that negative polarity will turn off the thyristor T1 and T2, and the freewheeling diode will flow the current, that is will freewheel the I0. I0 is the current which is flowing through the freewheeling diode, that is shown in the this time period, that is freewheeling diode. FD is from T1 to T2. At the instant T2, the thyristor T3 and T4 are on. At this again the capacitor starts charging from negative Vs to positive Vs, and when it reaches to positive Vs, again the polarities of the capacitor will turn off the thyristor, and hence the thyristor becomes 0. Then the thyristor T1 and here at the instant it will become again 0, as I0 is appeared across the T2 to T3, and at T3 interval I0 becomes 0 because thyristor undergoes a reverse bias. So this is the waveform where it gets reverse bias. So the voltage across the thyristor is this VT3 and VT4. Here the VT2 is reverse biased because as it is conducting, the voltage across the voltage is 0, and as it is reverse biased, the voltage across the thyristor is somewhat not 0, but it's somewhat reverse biased. In this way, maximum voltage will be applied across the thyristor, that is VC. Reverse voltage is applied across here. This is a waveform where I can explain, and this cycle will continue And again when thyristor T1 turn on, again this cycle will repeated. And what are the advantages and disadvantages of load commutated chopper? Advantages and disadvantages of the load commutated chopper are, first let us discuss what are the advantages. The following are the major advantages of the load commutated chopper. It is capable of commutating any amount of load current. No inductor is required for the commutation. Here we are not using any inductor in a commutation circuit, only we are using a capacitor. Generally inductor is bulky, costly and noisier, so we are neglecting the inductor in a commutation circuit. Filtering requirement is minimum in load commutated chopper as it can work at high frequencies in the order of kilohertz. So what are the disadvantages? Let us discuss about them. Following are the major disadvantages of the load commutated chopper. The peak voltage in this chopper is twice the source voltage, because the whatever the load voltage we are observing is twice the source voltage, that is source voltage plus the capacitor voltage are both the voltage will add upon the load, that is called as the peak voltage, which in this chopper is twice the source voltage. This peak can however be reduced by filtering, but the peak voltage is the one of the disadvantage where we can see in this chopper. The efficiency of this chopper is low for high power applications because of higher switching losses at high frequencies. Because of higher switching losses and high frequencies, its efficiency will be low if we go for the high power applications. The freewheeling diode is subjected to twice the supply voltage. The freewheeling diode is subjected to twice the supply voltage because when the thyristor T1 and T3 is on, the freewheeling diode is subjected, and also the when T3 and T4 are on, it is again subjected to twice the supply voltage. The commutating capacitor needs to carry the full load current at the frequency of the half of the chopping frequency. So these are the major disadvantages of the load commutated chopper. However, these are the methods where we can commutate the chopper through the methods of voltage to current and through the load. So these are the commutation where we can achieve the chopper to be commutated through these three methods. I hope you understand the concept of the commutations of a chopper.